The city felt different before the day had even begun. There was something in the air as everyone all woke, slightly earlier than usual, with a fiercer hunger for breakfast and a deeper thirst at the tap. I think I was the only one who didn't want to eat. I was nervous, I guess. Bobby Maycombe and me had been fooling around for weeks. He came in the Dairy Queen every day for 3 months before I said I'd go out with him. He wasn't even one of those guys to try. He was real shy usually. But he kept on asking in his quiet way, and that's how I knew it meant something. We started so slowly. He'd bring me books he liked and flowers so tiny from bushes that I could barely see 'em, but Lord, was there this unspoken thing like fire between us. I had the morning off that day for the parade, but had to wear my uniform so I could run the 7 blocks straight after and not be late. I met Bobby at the warehouse. It was strangely quiet. "Everyone's allowed to watch outside if they like," he said. He said he knew a room where we'd be okay, where we could see it all go past. He led me up the wooden stairs worn smooth by shoes and chased me along the hall with quick kisses. We could have picked any number of rooms, but we picked the one at the end. They were replacing the floor, he said. That's why the boxes were piled so tall. I said they looked like they could come down in an avalanche if we weren't careful, and Bobby looked at me so sweetly my words just stopped halfway through. He came and kissed me by the window. Said he would have liked to have taken his glasses off, but that he thought it would make him clumsy. I said I liked his glasses. Made his eyes look so green. Then his hands were on me, and my heart felt like the noise of the crowds outside, bursting with colors and flags. He told me he wanted us to always remember where we were the first time. That by doing it now, on this day, at this moment, our love would fuse its secret way into the history books. That a part of us would always be hidden unseen beside this great man. That every time we saw his face, we would always know. If that wasn't enough reason, Bobby was. He turned me around so we weren't facing each other and bent me slightly over a stack of boxes. I tried to turn around, but he filled my mouth with kisses from the side, his tongue like warm chocolate, solid but soft. And something gave way. Melted, I guess. He whispered that we would see it better like that when it came along. I didn't know you could do it that way, that people fit together like that. Well, it was easier than I thought. I don't know if it's because Bobby somehow knew what he was doing, or because of the excitement thick in the air like clear fog, or because that's the way it feels like when you're in love, but, well, he had a real love for the books inside the boxes, Bobby. He said he felt that by working with them, knowing they were being sent out to schools, he was in his own way telling the kids to work hard, to study and be better than he was. Like he'd somehow made something of himself, even though nobody knew it. We knew they were getting close. We could hear the screaming getting louder and the engines approaching, making themselves distinct from out of the rumbling chaos. And even though we knew no one could hear us, we bit our lips and stayed as quiet as we could. But I did not feel quiet inside. Bobby behind me, our fingers clasped together against a caramel-colored box of atlases. That's what it felt like. Bobby and me, spread against the whole world. I could feel it overwhelming me. My eyes closing despite themselves, and my body was alight with a fire I had never felt, and my eyes suddenly wide open, and the noise of the crowd so loud on the other side of the glass. And there they were. the black car gleaming like they were being whooshed along by stars. I saw her hat, pretty pink little pillbox. Even though I couldn't see her features clearly, I could tell she was as pretty as the pictures in the magazines. And he was so friendly, waving and smiling. Our country's young hope. And then the shots rang out. His head flung back, her crawling down the car, reaching for something. The chaos, the screaming and crying, the cars whipping away, and all the confusion, the waiting. Bobby and I sat on the grass outside, silent and still burning. Then the news. He was dead. The sound in the streets will stay with me until I die. We tried to make something out of it after, Bobby and me, to stay together. Our feelings for each other drew us that way, but the memory of it all lingered on our skins, and we couldn't. We were in the room right above him the whole time, right above where he must have stood to shoot. We never heard him leave. We never heard him running down the stairs as he must have. That plagued me after. Was it him? Was it? Bobby stopped coming into the Dairy Queen, stopped working at the book depository, and I worried for him that he didn't have his books anymore. I'd see his car coast by from time to time, silver green in the sun like his eyes. One day he waved slowly at me, and I knew that was the last time I'd see him. Someone said he got a job in a warehouse in Brownsville, packing rope. I wonder what might have been if we'd picked a different room, disturbed him at the right time, burst in with our laughter, interrupted him. Would he have done what he did? Would the car have just passed on by? Would John Kennedy have got to have done all the things he said he would? Would Bobby and me? Sometimes when I feel certain half feelings coursing through my body with my husband, a nice, sweet, decent man he is, I think of Bobby. I think of his books, how he made me feel excited about words. I think of my body back then, smooth and unpursed. I think of the blue sky and the glint in the window, my breath soaring from me, her pink hat, his cool hands on my bare thighs before the world changed.